What's up, you guys? Today we're going to talk about 7th chords. If a triad is just 1, 3, and 5, then the 7th chord is just the next extension of that, 1, 3, 5, 7. And there's 4 types of 7th chords that appear naturally within our major key. And that's our major 7, our dominant 7, our minor 7, and half diminished. The shapes that we're going to learn today are based off of our bar chord shapes. So if we go to our E string major bar chord, just play the first 4 notes. What we have is a 1, a 5, a 1, and a 3. And which one of those notes seems a little redundant? You guessed it, that second one. And because we know our major scale, we also know that our major 7 is just 1 fret below that octave. Now I'm going to have to readjust my fingers a little bit to get that 7 in my chord. So now our fingers are going to be a first finger, a fourth finger, a second finger, a third finger. And there's our E string major 7 chord. Now let's go back to that bar chord shape. Our dominant 7 is a 1, 3, 5 flat 7, and we already know that our major 7 is 1 fret below that 1. Now to get our flat 7, we're just going to go down 1 fret from there, and check it out, our first finger is already taking care of that with a bar. So all we have to do to get to our dominant 7 is just pick up our pinky and let the bar do the rest. Now let's stick with this shape for a second. A minor 7 chord is a 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. So all we have to do is flatten this 3 that we have within our chord, and check it out, our first finger can take care of that as well. And there's our minor 7 chord. Now half diminished is a 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7. So everything's flat. So now we just have to take this 5, flatten it down, and our second finger can take care of that. And there's our half diminished. Let's go on to our A string roots. So if I make my A string major bar chord, again I have a 1, a 5, a 1, and a 3. Same thing goes for this redundant 1 again. I can take this redundant 1 and bring it down by a half step to get our major 7, and now I just place my fingers around that. Now a dominant chord is just a 1, 3, 5 flat 7. So to flatten this 7 here, check it out, we can use this first finger to bar that fret right below it. And there's our dominant 7 shape. To get to our minor, we're going to have to flatten our 3. Now our second finger is free to grab that fret right below our pinky. And we have our minor 7 shape. Now remember, a half diminished is a 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7. So for our half diminished, we're going to have to flatten that 5. And I could bring it down there, but now my fingers are getting a little squished. So I'm going to readjust my fingers, and they're going to go in this order. First finger, third finger, second finger, pinky. And there's our half diminished shape. You can kind of think about this shape as a scrunched up major 7. If we take our major 7 shape, and we just flatten everything, just scrunch it all into each other, we get our half diminished. Let's go on to our D string. We don't have any D string bar chords, but if I think about it as my open D string shape with a root on the bottom, then I have the same order again. I have a 1, a 5, a 1, and a 3. Now we can take this redundant 1 and flatten it and smush it in there, but my fingers are feeling a little smushed there. So instead, I'm just going to bar it all with my third finger. And there's my major 7 shape. Now I'm going to have to flatten that 7 again, place my fingers around it, and there's my dominant 7 shape. Now this is a little confusing because this dominant 7 shape right here looks a little familiar. It's the same shape as our major 7 shape starting on our A string. So it's important to compartmentalize these shapes and what string you're on. So to make this dominant shape minor, now we're going to have to flatten our 3. And I'm going to readjust my fingers again to make it a little bit more comfortable. We've got a first finger, fourth finger, second finger, third finger. Now again, it's getting a little tricky because this shape right here looks a lot like our major 7 shape starting on our E string. But now over here on our D string, it's our minor 7. To make this shape half diminished, remember we're just going to have to flatten that 5. Now if I scrunch in that pinky, it doesn't feel too comfortable. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bar all those frets with my second finger. So again, on our E string we have major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, half diminished. On our A string we have major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, half diminished. And on our D string, we have major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, half diminished. Now, a great way to practice these is, of course, through the major scale. The order of these chords in our major scale is now major, minor, minor, major, dominant, minor, half diminished, major. So it'll look like this: major 7, minor 7, minor 7, major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, half diminished, back to a major 7. These chords are a really easy way to sound romantic. So those are your root position major 7 shapes. Let me know if you have any questions about these in the comments. Follow me for more guitar tips, and I'll talk to you soon.